G'day everyone and welcome back to the Big Bros podcast. My name is Jeremy and welcome if it's your first time joining us on the show. I'm joined by my lovely friend and co-host Ilan, but most importantly we're joined by Roan Steele, Collingwood AFL player. How you going, mate?
Yeah, very good, Jez. Thanks for having me on.
Good to have you here, mate. Now, Roan, we go back a few years, mate. Our journey together of knowing each other started at the mighty Casey Demons, and you being a player and me just giving you a bit of a hammy flush rub prior to the games. But it's been one hell of a journey for you, mate. So obviously you were there for a couple years. What has your journey kind of looked like since then, since VFL footy?
Yeah, so started at Casey in 2022. I think you were there 2023.
Yeah.
Potentially,
well,
yeah. So played 3 years at Casey. Was lucky enough to play sort of 14 or 15 games in my first year. Played in a prelim that year, but was unlucky and missed out in the grand final that year, which the boys ended up winning. And then, played every game for the next 2 years after that. And then at the end of last year, sort of took a little bit of a reset and a think about what footy looked like and sort of my goals and trying to make it to the next level. And that's when I made the decision to head over to WA and give the WAFL a crack with West Perth, who were awesome for me. Only played the 7 games there, so it was short-lived, but made some really good friends and some really good connections over there, and then was lucky enough in May of this year to get picked up by the Pies. So it's been a whirlwind sort of 12 months since making the decision to head to WA, but definitely wouldn't change the last sort of few years for the world.
Absolutely. Now, with the head over to Perth, though, you're still obviously young. I mean, you're still young now, and that's a big decision. Obviously, it seemed like it was a predominantly footy decision, but you're essentially leaving family across as well to go over. So what did that feel like for you? Was that scary to head over? Yeah,
it definitely was. I reckon I got approached by West Perth probably June and July last year, so I had a little bit of time to sort of think about the decision. I sort of let the footy season play out with Casey, and then really tried to sit down and speak to as many people as I could about their opinions on potentially the move, and then what sort of benefits and it would look like for me. So it took lots and lots of time to make that decision. It helped that my sister and brother-in-law lived over there already, so that was probably a driving force in the end to be able to go over and have a foundation over there and people who I knew that I could sort of move straight in with them and get myself sorted for the first couple of months. So definitely scary. Living at home, that's sort of one way to rip the Band-Aid off. Moving out, you sort of move out and then move to the other side of the country. So, not sure how Mum and my little sister felt that I was leaving them, but it was really nice to have a few connections over in WA already, and then thinking about the footy side of things, I guess. The life side of things was finishing uni in the middle of last year and being able to, have a clean slate with work and not having to worry about studies anymore. So that was one thing, just while I was still in my early 20s, being able to try something new. And sort of the overarching thing was to get out of my comfort zone a little bit. I felt like, especially with footy, the 3 years I had at Casey were awesome, but upon reflection it was, all right, let's try and find something that's a little bit out of my comfort zone, and let's really challenge myself and put myself out there. And West Perth gave me a great opportunity to be able to do that and show my strengths. And in talking to a few people, the WAFL seemed like it was best suited to the way I play, and the big grounds over there sort of helped my running ability and being able to show my strengths to hopefully get picked up. And talking to a few people, it's always the thing that people say that I went over there, and obviously it was a football decision, which is easy to say in hindsight, but in November last year I wasn't sort of thinking about that because there was no guarantee of that. So it's worked out well.
What did you learn about yourself during your time in WA?
Yeah, that I probably can't handle the WA heat too much. It was very hot, but I think it's that I can sort of deal with adversity pretty well and be able to deal with lots of new things that come at you, I guess, when you move to somewhere different. And then obviously moving to WA, everything's sort of the first time you meet people, the first time you do lots of things. The first sort of 2 or 3 months is all about introducing yourself to a new person every time you go somewhere, because it's the first time you've been there. So definitely learnt that my ability to make good relationships with people and create new friends and be able to live in an environment that's not so comfortable to start with is something that I'm pretty proud of myself to be able to do that. I don't think without sort of the support of my sister or my mum or my brother-in-law, I would have been able to do that by myself. So being able to have a good foundation over there and know some people over there already probably helped that. But I think if I was to do that when I was 18, I probably wouldn't have put myself out there as much as I did when I was 22 or 23 when I made that move. So definitely proud of myself in the fact that I feel like I can build good relationships really quickly with people, and hopefully they feel the same way when they met me.
By the same token, when you were over there, part of it was a lifestyle decision, another part of it was potentially a footballing decision. Was there a plan B for you in the chances that you wouldn't get picked up by a senior football club? Yeah,
I think it was always a little bit of both. It definitely was a football decision part of it, and looking at where the best avenue was to potentially get picked up. And I think the WAFL has a great base for mature age recruits being able to go over and show their strengths, whether it's mid-season or at the end of season in the draft or the SSP. So that was definitely a part of it. But I think also the lifestyle, was definitely a little bit of it too, being able to try something new. I think I was always going to give it, whether I got picked up or not, I was always going to give it a chance and give it a couple of years. And I guess my mindset was that worst case, you always can come back home. And I think mum and the support I had back in Melbourne gave me great confidence that worst case, if you didn't like it, you can always come back and reset. And I guess that gave me lots of confidence to be able to go over and just try as many new things as possible. Obviously, the footy side of it was a massive part of it, and West Perth provided me a great opportunity to be able to do that. But I guess the plan B was always, if it doesn't work, come back, and I guess you can regroup back at home and figure out something else.
And was that always the plan, even after your like under 18s kind of year, getting overlooked in those years? How was it? How were the feelings, being overlooked as an 18-year-old? Do you feel like you have this sense of things almost coming crashing down because that's what you hope and dream of doing? Or were you always pretty resilient in your mind of like, nah, whatever happens, 1 year at a time, I'm going to get there eventually?
Yeah, I think my journey, you can call it the non-traditional route in terms of football, but I think even more so than that, I, as a junior, never played any of sort of the TAC Cup, NAB League as it's called now, never sort of went to any tryouts or trainings or that sort of thing. So I guess the reality of knowing that that 18th year was never going to be the one anyway, it was sort of something that I could pretty quickly calculate and be able to say, well, it's going to be the long way round, I guess. And I was able to sort of accept that pretty early on. So it was sort of a year-on-year build. I guess as the years go on, you sort of start getting into state league footy, and you're hoping to sort of pick up some traction pretty early from teams and recruiters. And when that doesn't happen, it is pretty deflating. But I think, I guess my own character and personality, I'm pretty quick to always get back into it and stay really fit. I love sort of the process of training and getting better. So I think every year it was always just looking to get better and try and focus on sort of the process rather than the outcome of getting picked up. So I think that was always something that allowed me to stay pretty steadfast in my approach to my footy and not think too far ahead or get too down when things don't come your way. And I think, looking back, if I had been given that opportunity at 18, I don't think I would have been in the position where I am now. So I'm actually very grateful that I was able to sort of explore my studies after high school and be able to go out and work and I guess live in another state and do all those kinds of things. And then when the opportunity came around at Collingwood, I was much better suited than if I was 18. So I'm definitely grateful that it's worked out that way. And I know looking at some of our new draftees now, you always get a little bit sort of envious and you think what it would be like if you had gone through all the pathways and done it sort of the traditional way. But then I pretty quickly flipped back to being super grateful for the journey that I've been on.
You said you wouldn't have been ready at 18, but a few years later you get picked up by Collingwood. Before we get into kind of how that transpired, I would love to know, was there anything that you changed in your regimen in terms of preparation, training, routine that you think took you to the next level? Yeah,
I think I was always a pretty small and skinny kid as a junior, even up until sort of 17, 18 years old. So I think definitely being able to mature and sort of grow into my body a little bit was something that definitely helped me in my footy. You can call it a late bloomer, I guess, in terms of that. But I think it's just sort of learning and the knowledge that you get from talking to people about the way they prepare. I think I'm very curious in that sort of space and being able to ask the questions. I'm not sort of scared to ask people for help if I see it's going to benefit me. So I think building as much knowledge as I could was something that was really important to me, and I think I did that over the few years after sort of my 18th year. And then you sort of trial and error things, and things that work you keep, and things that don't you sort of throw out and try new things. So I'm definitely one that's wanting to continue to be curious about that sort of space, and I've always been pretty professional in my way about my footy, and I think people around me would probably say a similar thing. I've always held that to a really high standard, and always been pretty proud to be known as someone who does that. So I think that's definitely something that's held me in good stead now that I've actually got the opportunity, and I can just sort of continue to do that in an organic sense, and it's not sort of something that I have to put on or a facade or anything like that. It's just me being me. So I think that was definitely something over the few years post sort of school that if I could give advice to anyone, it would just be to keep being really curious and I guess question anything and try anything new. And I guess that bit of resilience is when things don't work, just continuing to try and not get too down on yourself.
Are you a man of superstition?
No, I'm not. I think everyone sort of sees AFL players as a junior and looks at they must be doing X, Y and Z, and they must be very superstitious. But I think as you learn and you get a little bit older, you realise that you can't always do sort of the same thing week on week, just based on situation, and especially with sort of like the VFL, there's a little bit of travel that goes on here and there. So you're not always exposed to mum's cooking or things like that. So you got to sort of work on the fly. So I think I think more so now more than ever, it's just about feeling good, doing the reps during the week and making sure that I've ticked off as much as I can, so I know when I get to game day I don't sort of have to worry about any little things like superstitions and that sort of stuff. I think in my own head a little bit too, if I had too many superstitions, it's just sort of almost a fear in a way that if you don't do it then you're going to fail. So I'm I guess very regimented in the week of making sure that I tick off certain things, but then once it gets towards game day I'm I guess very loose and just wanting to sort of clear my mind as much as possible and just let everything happen organically.
Yeah. Now, Steeley, you've always seemed like a very calm and collected type of person, but you mentioned there a lot about resilience as being like a key thing for you, a key thing in your mind to just keep going, keep trying, keep staying curious, keep asking questions no matter what might get you down. Have you always been a resilient person even from a younger age? And if so, what were maybe some of those things growing up, perhaps in your childhood, maybe some of those challenges that have formed this resilience that you now have?
Yeah, I think I've always been quietly resilient. I don't think I've ever showed it too much in an external way. I'm a pretty introverted person or quiet person until I get quite comfortable in my environment or people around me. So I think I've always been quietly resilient. I think always being, like I mentioned, a little bit smaller and a little bit skinnier. You kind of have to fight for sort of everything, especially on a footy field. You sort of have to fight and scrap for a little bit. So I think that was always something that built that resilience quietly. And then, I think just sort of things that you face in your life. I lost my dad pretty early. I was 13 or 14. So, that sort of matures you up really quickly, and you sort of realise, that there's a lot going on, and you sort of worry about the people around you. I worried about my mum and my two sisters probably the most. I guess being the man of the house pretty early on, since he was gone. So, you sort of look beyond yourself, and I think that sort of quietly built my resilience. I think there's probably times where people around me probably wonder what I'm thinking, because I'm not a big emotional extrovert. So I've always done it in a quiet manner, and I think now more so I think people are starting to see it a little bit more in my footy, but also just in general, being able to go over and try new things. And if one thing fails, I think people sort of see that I've always been a pretty calm and collected person, and don't get too fazed by too much. So I think slowly but surely it's starting to come out from a quiet resilience to a bit more. So I think sort of the things that I face in my life, losing a parent and losing some of my mates' dads as well when I was quite young. It's probably not too dissimilar to what most people face, but in my situation it was just about caring about the people around me, and then I just really wanted to make everyone proud around me. So it was just about going about my work quite quietly, and not kicking up too much of a fuss.
Is there anything about Dad that you remember that you try to embody in your day-to-day nowadays?
Yeah, I think he was, again, probably a quietly emotional person. I guess a big softie you could call it, which I think I am a little bit too, but I've tried to be a little bit more open about that, and realise that it's okay to be pretty vulnerable in some periods, which I think maybe he kept to himself a little bit more than what the people around him would have wanted. So I think everyone sort of knew that he was a little bit of a softie, but he tried not to show it too much. So I hope that I guess the people around me are able to see that I can be vulnerable, and I guess any emotion, I'm not scared to sort of come and talk to people about it, whether it's good or bad. I guess from a young age I could see that he was, and as all dads do, they want to sort of be seen as quite strong and brave, and nothing ever phases them. But I think the good thing about him was that he was able to, especially with us, be able to show that there's the other side to it as well, and that it's okay to be vulnerable, and it's okay to show that you really love and care about people, and the things that you do. So that was probably one of the biggest things that I've taken from him, and I guess tried to show it in a bit more of an extroverted way, and just let everyone know that I'm there and I'm available for whenever they need. I think that was one of his greatest strengths. So hopefully people sort of feel that, and they can come to me sort of with anything.
Love that, mate. Thanks for sharing that. Bloody beautiful. And what would have also been a beautiful moment for you, and a special one for the family, would have been that debut game as well. I don't like to reflect on it too much, being a Carlton fan myself, and I think I remember talking to you about it prior, saying, you know what, if it happens to a team, and if anyone was to go and annihilate Carlton, I'd want it to be you, mate. So, and that's what you did. But what a game that must have been, especially with the family around. Talk us through what that kind of meant, and what you were feeling and what you experienced on the night. Yeah,
it was a whirlwind week, I think, being told on, I think it was the Tuesday or the Wednesday of that week. So I had a couple of days to sort of try and process it before the game, and then just being able to tell mum and ring her, and ring my sisters and cousins and everyone else was awesome. all my mum's side is Carlton too, so it
Oh,
actually
there
worked out pretty well in the end. It's weird how the world works like that, but it's just really special. Probably didn't sink in until after the game, probably in the couple of days post, that we were able to sort of sit down and talk about how crazy it actually was. I think it was 30-something days after I got picked up, so
wow,
it was a hectic month of...
and you were in Perth then at the time.
Yeah. Just a hectic period of lots of change, and then that night was unreal. It's a blur to look back on now. You sort of don't remember too much of the specifics, but just the feeling of the crowd, and obviously getting a really big win and being able to celebrate with all the boys, and then being able to celebrate with family as well was really special. Having them all in the rooms pre-game, and then post-game being able to have them, and a few diehard Pies mates in the rooms as well was pretty special. So just a really big blur, and it's definitely not something I'll ever forget, because I think more so the look on their faces of seeing how proud they were was almost as special as being out there. So I was probably more happy with how proud they were, and how much they enjoyed the experience as much as I did. So they're the ones who sort of put in all the time and effort to culminate in that night. So as much as it was the hard work that I put in, it was 10 times the hard work that they all put in. So I was really proud to be able to share that with them, and to cap it off with a win wasn't too bad either.
You actually smashed them. I remember watching the game at my mate's house, and most of my mates are Carlton supporters, and I remember you guys were just... I loved it as a D's man, to be honest. I'm not a fan of either of your clubs, but that being said, no, it would have been incredibly special. I imagine there was an element of it also being somewhat bittersweet as well, given it would have been quite reflective for you, having noticed your journey and all that you'd have to have gone through to get to that moment. Was there also an inkling in yourself that you knew you were going to get picked? Like, does Fly have individual conversations with, I guess, the players who are about to get picked, or was it... I saw the video of it being announced in the room when I think Fly was asking, what is it like playing against against Carlton rather? What's the feeling like? But did you have an inkling prior to that meeting?
No, definitely not from Fly. I think in the weeks prior, you sort of realise that you're playing some pretty good footy, and you get some good feedback from line coaches and development coaches. But I think even with that, you're never quite sure. You never quite know when it's going to come. So I was definitely caught off guard in that sense. I don't think you could ever prepare yourself to know that would be the week that you were debuting. So, our coaches are very good at giving us feedback constantly, and the development coaches and the line coaches are really good at reassuring you that you're doing the right things, and if you keep doing the right things, then opportunities will present themselves. So I guess it just happened to be my week that week that an opportunity presented, and the weeks prior to that was just about keep doing what you're doing, and they seemed to have loved what I was doing in my role, and as long as I kept doing that, then an opportunity would present itself, and then it's just about, once that opportunity comes, trying to take it the best you can. And I think you're sort of never quite sure when that opportunity will come, especially at a team like Collingwood, where lots of guys have played lots of footy and achieved lots in the game. So you're always sort of side-eyeing the coaches when they sort of say an opportunity will come, because you're sort of looking at the team and thinking where. But I guess it's great reassurance to all the boys and all the young boys especially, that if you keep doing the right things, that it's always going to come.
And when he actually did tell you, I remember watching the vision. What was the kind of story, and how did it actually happen? Because it is kind of theatrical these days as to how they actually blood a debut match to someone, isn't it? Were you in a room, and was there a letter component? Was grandma involved in some way?
Yeah, that was the week post. Yeah, but I think a few weeks ago, one of the young boys, Charlie West, got his debut, and they sort of were out in the middle of the ground. It sort of came up on the scoreboard. So I think there is a theatrical component. So I think the social media team enjoy sort of coming up with different ideas and things like that. But yeah, with mine, as you mentioned, they sort of asked a few of the boys who had played against Carlton for a fair few years what it meant to sort of pull on the jumper in that game. And then, me being none the wiser, they asked a couple of the younger boys what it's felt like in their first couple of weeks or first couple of years playing. And, I just took that as if he was asking one of the guys that had been here for 3 or 4 weeks. So, I just answered like nothing else. And then, quickly after he mentioned that I was going to debut. So, I think it was shock and just making sure I heard him right. And, I didn't sort of really know how to feel. But, that next sort of hour or two when, everyone's sort of getting around you and you can't wipe the smile off your face. It's sort of... it's pretty special. Yeah,
and how has Fly been? As a coach, we only really see him from his interviews, which is always bloody impressive. I think what we've always liked about him as a coach is how probably matter-of-fact he is, and he's very able and willing to, speak emotionally, speak about his feelings, and not speak in that regimented, robotic way like a lot of the other coaches kind of do at times. How's he been for you, and have there been any special moments that you're able to recall for us with him? Yeah,
I think what you see is what you get with him. He's very much like how he is in the public eye. He's a great person, always family oriented, and really wants to know how you are before any of the footy stuff. So he's very big on family first. He's very big on making sure that you're all right, and then the footy side comes second. So he's been unreal for me. I think the week before my debut, we sort of caught up for coffee and were just able to sort of chat about life. Essentially, it wasn't anything about footy. It was just about my childhood and growing up, and the family and how they all are. So he's an awesome person, an awesome coach. And then you flip that on the footy side, he's just a really awesome coach. He knows exactly what he wants from his players, and he's able to articulate that really well to you. So you never feel like you're sort of in the grey area. You always know where you sit, which is good. Just a really special person, and someone who, once you get to know him, he's sort of no different in the public eye to what he is away from footy. He's able to connect with you on a deeper level than just sort of the footy field, and be able to, give you and sort of be willing to give you advice on sort of anything you ask. I just couldn't thank him enough for the first sort of 6 months that I've had with him, and from all the chats I've had with him since, it's I feel very lucky that I'm able to play under a coach like that.
And are there any teammates that come to your mind that you believe have maybe helped your game, or any teammates that push you to be better than average?
Yeah, I think one last season that was really big sort of in helping me settle was Tom Mitchell. He was just coming back from an injury in the VFL when I sort of got there, and it was his first couple of games in the VFL. So he was awesome in just, on the footy field, but away from the footy field, just being able to connect with someone and, offer any advice on the transition to becoming a professional athlete. And then, on field, he's just obviously such a great player. He's had an awesome career, and he's seen it all, being at the top of the game and on the flip side. So, he was an awesome person to resonate with and be able to connect with early on. And I feel very lucky that I've got a connection with him, and I'm able to sort of message or call him whenever and be able to ask him lots of questions on specific situations. But I think in terms of the club and the group that we got now, we've got a real good crop of 1st to 4 year guys that we sort of bounce off each other, and we can challenge each other. And I think I'm lucky in my position that I'm probably a little bit older than some of those guys. So I feel like being able to step into a little bit of a leadership role in that group, and just being able to really push the standards. And then the older guys are really big on us being able to push them, and I think that holds us in good stead in terms of being able to lift the standards in training, but also the little things around the club. And I think a big thing for us is just being able to show that we're winners always, and Fly always preaches that. So it's whether we're on the footy field or off the footy field, just being able to hold a high standard and know that we're representing Collingwood, and that's just more than the 2 hours on game day.
At the same time, you do play for the biggest club in the country. Does that excite you? Does it scare you? Is it a bit of both?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it scares me. It's definitely on the excitement level. It's it's an amazing club. We've got an awesome fan base. We're very lucky and privileged that we get to run out in front of 80, 90, 100,000 people every week. It's not just on sort of the big marquee games. Our fans really get behind us, and they're very passionate. They're obviously awesome when we win, but they're very passionate when we lose as well, which is a good thing too. So it's the first couple of months at training, it was a very weird feeling to come out and realise that there was a couple hundred people watching us train, let alone the people that come on game day. So you definitely feel sort of the magnitude of how big Collingwood is, and there's definitely, the benefits definitely outweigh anything else with Collingwood. So I've loved it, and I couldn't have been in a better position or gone to a better place. I feel like they've taken me in as one of their own really quickly, and you feel the love, and I've definitely felt that from the start. And as soon as you feel that love, you just want to repay the faith as quickly as possible. So it's definitely something that excites me and something that sort of motivates me day on day to be able to give back to the fans and hopefully put smiles on their face.
Absolutely. And you certainly did that in the games that you did play, and one of those big ones was the prelim, mate. I mean, you've played in finals at other levels before, but getting a call up to play in a preliminary final, and you came on pretty early in the game after starting as a sub, but it was bloody early, coming on for someone like Scott Pendlebury. What did that feel like for you, and how were you feeling in that moment?
It's a very stressful thing as the sub, and you realise that you're being sort of thrust into the game pretty early on, and not just that, you're probably coming on for the greatest pie ever too. So definitely a lot to take in, but you sort of pretty quickly go to autopilot and realise that you got to try and get on and make an impact. And that whole week was very stressful in terms of hoping to be selected, and it worked out that way, which is nice. Unfortunately, we didn't sort of get the result that we were after, but I felt like I was probably as best prepared as I could be for anything that came in that game. And once you're sort of out there and you're in the flow of the game, you sort of forget about all the other things that have happened. So I just tried to prepare like any normal game. I know it's definitely not, because there's 100,000 people screaming at the top of their lungs, and the winner goes into a grand final. So there's definitely lots of external factors that can sort of pull your mind away from the job at hand. But the great thing about our group is just being able to reset and focus on the things that we can control. So it was unfortunate that Pendles happened to be the one that came off, and I'm very lucky that I was able to sort of get in early and be able to play a full prelim. And unfortunately the result didn't go away, but it just sort of stirs us on for next season.
Absolutely. And you speak about the reset there, and me as a Collingwood fan, Ilan as a Melbourne fan, and everyone else that doesn't go to Collingwood, we can't stand the ability of Collingwood to be able to just come back, reset and wipe away teams. How does it actually happen on field? I feel like we have to ask that. Like, how does it happen? You speak about the reset there. Is it a team thing? Is it a mindset thing? Is it a matter of just leaders and lines getting together? What actually happens in those moments?
Yeah, I think we have a real competitive advantage in the fact that we have lots of experienced guys that have been in every situation in games before. So they're definitely someone that we lean on, the likes of Steele, Sidebottom, Scott Pendlebury, Darcy Moore, guys like that, who have seen everything in footy. So they're very calm in their language on field, and between breaks to be able to reset the rest of the group. There's always times where you can sort of lose your mind a little bit, and they're very good at being able to sort of give you a couple of quick things to think about, and you sort of reset and focus back on the job at hand. But I think we do a lot of work during the week on our mindset, and we do lots of stuff with our breathing, with when we're faced with sort of those adverse moments in games, being able to come back to who we are. So I think it's definitely something that we practice, and it's not just something that happens by chance. Just I guess a a great competitive advantage that we have lots of guys that have seen it all, but also the fact that we practice those moments a lot in training and during the week, so that when they come, we're not sort of shocked or scared by the fact of it coming up, and that we actually sort of run towards those sort of things and we embrace them.
So it is a mindset thing. Do you reckon, it's 90% a mindset thing or 100% a mindset thing? And I mean, it's easy for us to kind of say like, all right, just tell yourself, get the next goal or get to the next contest. But are there more precise strategies that you guys do, or is it as simple as just taking a deep breath and looking into the next piece of play?
Yeah, I think that's definitely part of it. It's definitely a big mental thing, and it's something that we speak about a lot is sort of the choice to step in. You sort of, you can either embrace that or you can step away from it. So it's, I guess, definitely a big mentality thing to be able to step into that pressure of, when a game gets tough or when a team's kicked a couple of goals on us, being able to reset ourselves and actually go, this is where we want to be. And, we want to sort of embrace this pressure. But I think, as we touched on, a big competitive advantage too is the fact that I think the crowd senses it sometimes for us as well, and that sort of spurs us over the line a lot too. So the Pies fans definitely have a part to play in that.
It does
in that space, and
you feel it from fans.
You get sort of adrenaline rush, and I think they realise when sort of the time is needed for a little bit of extra push, and they definitely give it to us, and we speak about that a lot, that they're sort of our 19th man on field, and we can use that to our advantage. So it's definitely a mindset thing. It's definitely something that you can practice and that we do practice, but we definitely have sort of the extra luxury of the fans being able to push us over the line, and the G gets pretty loud once we get rolling. So we try to use that to our advantage as best we can.
It's a great reminder. Melbourne played Collingwood round 24. We had a lead, and that crowd just gets so loud. And I think you mentioned just off air before, it's just the momentum. You can't really do much about it, it feels like. So thanks for that. But how do they get? Because you've played in some marquee games. You played against, some of the top. You played Gold Coast, Adelaide, D's, or we weren't that good this year in fairness. Brisbane. Is there one opponent you played against, whether it be a midfielder, forward, or whatever, that kind of sticks you in your mind and think, wow, they're a really good player?
Definitely when you sort of come up against some of the top guys in the league, you definitely feel sort of their presence and get to see up close why they're so good at what they do. But I think, that second half in the prelim, I think Brisbane was so slick, and I think everyone saw that then again on grand final day, how well they were able to move the ball, and then if you can't stop them, they're almost unstoppable. So it's definitely something that sticks in my mind, and probably sticks in a few guys' minds, that if we get that chance again, that they're sort of the ones that we want to get back, and it's definitely something that I would love to get back and play them as quickly as possible. But I think in sort of the 5 games I played, you come up against some of the top players in the league, and you realise very quickly why they're some of the best guys in the league. I think in the first game I copped a bump from Paddy Cripps and realised pretty quickly why some guys can't tackle him. So it's sort of every game's the toughest game you play, and every team's got a host of stars that you when you're up close you can see sort of little intricate things that they do that make them so good, and if anyone gets a run on these days, they're pretty hard to stop. So I would say in any game, there's never sort of been one in particular, but there's always been little moments. But then on the flip side of that, you see guys like Nick Dacos and Josh Dacos go to work, and Jordan De Goey, those kind of guys. And it's nice to know that we have a fair few on our team as well that can end a game pretty quickly. It's pretty special to get the ball in those guys' hands and just let them do their thing.
For sure. And is there one perhaps misconception you had about going into the AFL system that maybe you had before?
I think a big one, and I guess the perception on the outside is, I guess how hard they sort of, it's almost like seen as a little bit of like military in terms of the way that they train, and and people screaming at you and the standards that they set, but it's very much especially at the Pies, we have a very good environment in terms of we know the balance between sort of having fun and working really hard. And I think I guess my perception on the outside was that you're always sort of very serious and in sort of footy mode, but that's definitely not the case, especially with us. We have a really good balance of being able to work hard when we can, but also have lots of fun with it and still be able to have a laugh and a joke. And I think that's a great balance and a great culture that was built by Fly, and being able to just be yourself and really enjoy what you do and enjoy coming to work and enjoy the people that you're sharing those times with, because we're definitely in a lot of hours during the week, so you want to make sure that you're enjoying the people that you're spending all that time with. So I think my perception on the outside was that everything was very serious and regimented, and you sort of had to be on all the time. And I think Collingwood especially has shown me that in the right environment there's definitely times where you can just be yourself and have fun and have a laugh and essentially just be a big kid in the end. And I guess everyone's sort of living out their childhood dreams, so everyone's just got that little inner child in them to be able to have fun, and footy's sort of the thing that is connected with that fun when you're younger. So I think at Collingwood we sort of never want to lose that, and obviously there's times to be serious and times to work really hard, but there's also times to have lots of fun and have a laugh and have a joke.
Who's the number one jokester at the club?
There's a fair few. I would say Steele Sidebottom loves a good laugh and a joke. He's been very good to me. He's very funny. He's a very lovable character, a bit of a larrikin too, and just loves sort of the environment of being around the guys all the time. So him and Darcy Cameron sort of bounce off each other pretty easily. And I would say most guys have their own little sort of intricacies, and it makes for a very fun environment to be in. And you're going to have a laugh and a joke every day because someone's going to make someone laugh or do something silly. So it's awesome.
Mate, before we wrap up, one thing we always like to ask our guests is kind of a message that they would like to tell their younger self, or tell someone in their 20s in particular that is going through uncertain times. Maybe they feel stuck, whether it's job-wise, career-wise, chasing a passion, a dream like you've done yourself. What is that piece of advice that you would tell that person?
Yeah, I think a big thing for me was always that whether it was sort of pain or suffering or uncertainties, that it was always temporary, and that whether it's a month, 2 months, 6 months, 12 months, that you always come out on the other side of it. So I think especially through sort of my early 20s, was always that any tough times or any uncertainties or sufferings was short, and it was temporary, and that whether it's people will help you through it, or you'll find yourself in a situation where you realise that you've come on the other side of it, that it's always gonna get better. And I know when you're in that uncertainty, it feels like it's never gonna end. So it's just being really comfortable in knowing that anything that you go through, there's always going to be something good attached to the end of it, and that you'll come out of it and you'll be really grateful that you went through those tough times or those uncertainties, because it makes you a better person on the other side. So I think whether my story is a little bit of a mirroring image for that, or some of my experiences, it's definitely something that I can back up as being as true can be. Love
that, Steely. Great response. And on the flip side of that, we can see these are cupcakes or muffins rather, that are eyeing us here on the table. So maybe you can show that to the camera, Ilan. So this is what our guests take away from the show. So a little sweet muffin, and with that comes a question to finish off, which is, what is your sweet spot, mate? What is a sweet spot that you've had the past 12 months? And that can be a great moment, a great story, and just a really positive, sweet experience from the past year for you.
Yeah, I think a big one for me, and maybe something that people don't know a whole lot about me, is that me and my partner are in a long distance relationship at the moment. She's over in the States. We met when she was over here in Melbourne studying abroad last year at the end of 2024. So we spent a little bit of time here, and then when she went back, we sort of made the commitment to to start a long distance relationship, and being able to head over to the States and see her in our off season was pretty sweet. And sort of the times that we share together, I know a lot of it's sort of based on FaceTime and text and communicating that way, but as we just mentioned, sort of the short-term pain of that, hopefully in the not too distant future, ends in sort of long-term gain and being able to be in the same place at the same time and sort of start, I guess, our life as a normal relationship, you could call it. I guess people sort of look at you when you mention that you're in a long-distance relationship and sort of give you a strange look as if to say why, but we share a really special connection, and she's helped me immensely this year. She's been with me from when I was in Perth and sort of seen the whole journey from Perth to now back in Vic. So she's an amazing support network for me, and there's definitely times where whether it's after games or training or whatever it may be, whether it's good or bad, that you sitting at home on FaceTime and you just sort of want her next to you and not on the phone, but being able to go over and spend a good month with her in the States and being able to see sort of her life over there and meet her family and her friends and see what sort of day-to-day looks like for her. And then early next year she'll come over here and hopefully be able to see what day-to-day looks like for me, and then hopefully in the not too distant future we'll be able to sort of be in the same place and sort of start our lives together in the same place. So I really can't thank her enough for sort of the love and care that she gives me. I know it's probably hard on her sometimes with long training days and games and that, but she's forever willing to stay up and watch games, or just stay up that extra half an hour or an hour just to call or message. So big shout out to Nat for that, and I can't sort of thank, I guess, the universe for putting us in the same spot at the same time, and being able to stumble across each other and then build a really strong and loving relationship. I'm really grateful for her.
Shout out, Nat.
Shout out, Nat. Thank you for sharing that, mate. It's really beautiful, and may you two be reunited very soon and imminently. But before we finish up, I just want to say a massive thank you for hopping on the potty. We've loved having you on. Great chat, great convo. I guess before we finish, is there a parting message you'd want to send to the Collingwood faithful, perhaps, for next year?
Yeah, I do. I think there's lots of excitement about what we did last year, and I know it sort of ended pretty abruptly and a bit bittersweet because we definitely felt like there was a bit more to give. But I think from the early parts of pre-season, everyone's come back in really good shape, and especially sort of the younger guys have really come back. We sort of get a week before the older boys come back to sort of lay the foundations and start really strongly, and all the boys have done that really well. So I think there's a real excitement about what we can do next year, and hopefully going that one step further and being able to be there on the last day in September. So I think just keep backing us up, keep getting around us, and keep yelling as loud as you can, because I know everyone else hates it, but we love it. So keep doing it.
On your Steeley, thanks for joining the show, mate, and we can't wait for the year ahead for you as well.
Thank you. Thanks, boys.